Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
And I'm Corey Baumeister.
And we got Dan in the booth. Say hi, Dan. A little tired? A little tired there?
It's been a very exhaustive SCG con, I have to say.
Yeah.
Fun, but exhausting.
It was fun, though.
All the players, we like to talk on Twitter the next day about how tired we are after a long weekend. We've been playing Magic a lot. I don't think anybody realizes how many hours our staff at SCG puts into this weekend. They are exhausted by the end.
No kidding. We just got to play Magic, go to the after party, and we see everyone coming at like 9. We're like, what were you guys doing this late?
Tournaments were over.
Working.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
They get there earlier than us and leave later than us every single day. They spend all of Thursday setting up instead of us just getting in at 5 o'clock and going to dinner.
Yeah. So you rock, Dan. You rock.
Yes.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for all of your work.
I
Yes.
really appreciate it.
Dan's going to be taking all your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure you tag at Star City Games so he can see them. Send his favorites over to us. As always, we are brought to you by Star City Games, as well as Karnak's Chairs. If you're tired after SCG Con and you want a comfortable chair to sit in,
I needed to sit for like a week. I'm not standing for a week after this weekend. Yeah.
No, you're just going to wheel one of these chairs out of here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can go and use our affiliate link. That is karnox.com/SCG. And if you use that affiliate link, you will get 10% off your purchase of a Karnox chair. We are breaking down the results of the Invitational, Season 2 Invitational at SCG Con Winter. We were breaking down specifically the Pioneer results because Pioneer was great. And this was, I think, the biggest Pioneer tournament to date. At least, one with the most eyes on it. One a lot of people were preparing for. And we saw, some things we expected. So the Mono Green Devotion decks. We saw some, we saw Mono-Blackk Devotion or Mono-Blackk Aggro perform really well. That was a deck that rose up recently online, won a PTQ, has now sort of, staked its claim as one of the best decks in the format.
And took it down.
Yeah, took down the tournament. Took down the Pioneer Challenge last weekend. And it's several copies in the 7-1 or better list from the Invitational.
Yep.
Very good showing from that deck. Sort of the breakout deck from the weekend.
Oh, it seems like it. Seems so powerful.
We saw Hardened Scales list get refined by Lotus Box. That deck looks to be another contender. And then we saw some cool spicy lists. So we got a little bit of everything here in the 6 decks we're going to be playing today. And we will be starting with one of each. I'm going to be playing my Mono-Blackk Aggro list. I did go 7-1 in the Pioneer portion.
Nice work.
Thank you.
How'd Modern go?
We don't talk about that.
Okay.
That's
Gotcha.
It didn't happen. I've already blocked it from my memory.
Same with mine.
Yes. So we're going to be just focusing on Pioneer.
Forever.
Yes, forever.
Yeah.
Amen. So this list is very close to the one that won the PTQ. One change in the main. I'm playing a Gnarled Scarhide. Got a few different cards in the sideboard. One of those extra cards in the sideboard is a Legion's End, which is going to be very helpful against the deck that you're playing.
Yeah, definitely. Legion's Ending Zombies has been a story as old as time in Standard for a while.
Or as old as about 6 months.
Exactly. That's what I meant. A short time. So I'm playing Autumn Burchett's Golgari Field of the Dead ramp deck. Autumn Burchett, MPL player, came in and did pretty well.
Another 7-1 or better.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were 7-1, 7-0-1, or 8-0, but something in that range.
Yep.
Very impressive regardless.
Dominated. I don't know exactly how they ended up. I know pretty high in the standings.
I
saw them in the feature matches quite often at the end,
I want to say they were in the top 16.
Yeah. So the deck looked really sweet. It's able to utilize all the really good Golgari removal spells. You get Murderous Rider, Abrupt Decay, Trophy, Fatal Push, Legion's End, and then you just get great ramps like Elvish Rejuvenator, Courser Crewfix, Hour of Promise, and then you're able to kind of close out a lot of games with Ormondal. The flip side of Westvale Abbey, being able to just sack a bunch of zombies, attack for 9, like most decks cannot deal with the flip side of Westvale Abbey.
Very difficult one, though Legion's End does do it.
That's true. That's true.
So very important card in this matchup specifically. I like a lot of what's going on
here. But even a slap for 9, you get it, but
and you have this inevitability with Field of the Dead.
Yes.
Eventually, you're just going to start making so many zombies. That I have to maybe Legion's End and hit you in one swing.
Yeah.
So a really interesting take. We've seen Field of the Dead usually pop up in Bant Shells. With Supreme Verdict, Teferi Time Raveler, sometimes Scape Shift to go with Teferi, like we saw in Standard.
Yeah.
This Golgari list gets way better removal. The white removal is pretty bad in the format outside of Verdict itself.
And white's just a bad color. Yeah. Really is. Yeah.
So, and then these really good mid-range creatures, Tireless Tracker, Corsair Crucifix. I especially like Corsair in this deck. You have so many lands you're going to hit quite often. And you can play some defense. They can pressure Planeswalkers a little bit. So you're a little bit more proactive in terms of, playing real threats to the battlefield, not just lands, and a little bit less of a ramp deck, but you still have that ramp element. So I like the versatility in the way this deck is built. I don't think this deck doesn't lose out that much on not being quite as explosive with Field of the Dead, but it gains a lot in having more good early interaction, stopping Llanowar Elves and all these other good cheap threats, and then still having that real late game over the top inevitability that Field of the Dead provides.
And honestly, like the Wrath effects are good, but there's not so many creature decks that are really trying to go wide on you. The ones that are going wide are doing it with like Rabble Master or Legion Warboss, and it's one card that's gaining a bunch of value and stuff. So honestly, I think the way to do it is to have spot removal and stuff like this, because it is instant speed, it is very flexible, and you're able to play threats and then deal with their threats instead of always having to hit the reset button, and then your opponent gets to start, right? So they're always 1 foot up on you. So I really like Autumn's take on this Field of the Dead deck, and I think it's just a step up from the Bant list, because we tried the Bant Field of the Dead decks, and to be fair, we played it against like the Soul Flare deck, which probably isn't where it's going to shine, but I wasn't super impressed, and I know you really weren't either. So
I do think Supreme Verdict looked to be a pretty good card in the format with how many Llanowar Elves decks were around. But when we saw some other decks doing well, like this Mono-Blackk deck can laugh off Supreme Verdict pretty easily.
Oh yeah,
with all its recursive threats and Smuggler's Copters and even Thoughtseize to just take it out of your hand.
And Rankles, like just something really right after a Wrath is perfectly fine.
And a sweeper that I would be much more scared of is something like Cry the Carnarium, which is something that you could sideboard.
Definitely good. Yeah, Cry seems sweet.
Yeah,
doesn't really do too many nice things for Justin Parnell here, but
no. We're playing that before we're triggering fields.
There we go. Okay.
Should be fine.
I like it.
Okay. I have the marbles.
You did. How did you win last time?
I defeated Ryan Overturf.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you blocked.
And
let's just take a moment to celebrate that. Anybody that comes into our streets around here, we're just blocking. No marbles will be taken out.
Nope.
Yeah.
We protect this house.
Mm-hmm.
Not happening.
We may not protect anything at the Invitational, but you know what? At this specific table...
Next Invitational, let's have it entirely within this room, and then Corey and I will definitely be in the finals.
Oh yeah, it'll be easy.
That would be so crowded.
What do you think? We could have maybe a 10-person tournament in here?
I think we could make at least an 8-man draft. 10 might be pushing it, but
okay. Well, you're going to be on the play for game.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, Autumn did very well for themselves, but they only got 19th.
Oh, a little outside top 15.
Must have fell off in Modern a little bit. I know a lot about that because that's what I did all day. Let's go. All right, so we're going to keep this. Nothing...
Modern is stupid.
Nothing super great here, but definitely a keeper. You good?
Yeah.
All right, well... Now, what land to start with? I suppose we're just going to kick this off with a Thoughtseize.
Well, I think I know what you're going to take.
Yeah? Hey, you got a pretty good hand.
Smuggler's Copter is the best card in the deck.
Smuggler's Copter is quite good, and I don't have a very clean answer for it. Rankle is also quite good.
It is the flying threats that are important here because they were the cards that close the game out once Corey starts triggering Field of the Dead.
For sure. Gnarled Scarhide. How was that?
And I bestowed it exactly once on the weekend, but when I did, it was important.
Okay.
I bestowed it onto a Smuggler's Copter to attack a 5 loyalty Oko.
Oh, spicy. Yeah, we'll take Smugs.
It even immediately fell off, but it was still important.
I like it. All right, so I'll go to 18 and I'll pass it to you.
18. Okay, well, I will leave myself the option of bestowing this Scarhide later, and we'll just play a Night Market.
Smart. Okay. So now I can play, if we take a look at my hand, I can play this right now, but I really want to make sure I have 2 green in play, so we're going to go with an Overgrown and pass to you.
Okay, I will attack and trigger the Lookout.
Okay, take 2, go to 16, you go to 21.
And didn't draw anything else to do, so I will play the Scarhide.
Not bestowing?
Pass the turn.
All right. What do I know from your hand again?
Swamp Rankle.
Swamp and Rankle. Okay. Well, we are going to start with a Rejuvenator.
That's unfortunate. You're kind of hit.
We'll put this into play. Oh, God. It's gonna be this kind of day, huh? All right. Your turn.
Got him.
Gotta love that. Gotta
Okay.
love that.
Well, I drew a very good one here in this smuggler's copter.
Sure.
Now, I don't think I want to trade, because I certainly don't want to trade the lookout, because it crews the copter so well. And once I don't want to trade the lookout, there's no real point in trading the Scarhide. So
At least you get in a free damage.
let's pass the turn.
All
Actually,
right.
you were tapped out.
Yeah.
I think I want to turn this into a creature on my turn, so you can't push it.
Sure.
So I'll just crew now.
Okay. 15 to 22.
Yep.
God, I can't believe I missed with that. That's so unlucky. All right. So we're going to go with a Courser.
Yep.
And I suppose we better do that. Put a land into play. Go to 16 and pass to you.
It's pretty good.
Not bad. Be a lot better if I had one extra land.
Would it?
Would it?
Would it really?
Would it really now? Yes, it would. All right. So the Flyers are definitely going to scare me here. I would rather you attack on the ground to try to get through Courser. Ooh.
Crew the copter.
Okay.
So 15 to 23.
23, yep. Mono-Blackk deck just gains so much incidental life as well.
Yeah. Let's crack in with both and draw off the copter
Okay.
and discard a scrap heap scrounge.
Crack in with both, but I can block.
Yeah, you can.
What am I missing here? Just want creatures in the yard for Scrounger? Seems pretty loose, but... All right, I'll bite.
Okay, take 3. Brings you to
Go to
12.
12. Yep.
Okay, Fatal Push the Courser.
That makes sense.
Play a Mutavault and pass the turn.
Okay.
Now I can just return the Scrounger,
All right, and I'll pass to you.
which I will do.
Okay.
I suspect there is a removal spell here up for the Rankle, but You have 4 in hand?
4 in hand.
I know one is Fable Passage.
Yep.
So, if it is in Vraska's Contempt, you would Contempt the Rankle, go to 14, take 1 here, 13, take 6, go to 7.
It's not a lot of life.
It is not. I think if I don't play the Rankle and you just have a removal spell and remove the Copter, that is also pretty bad for me. I think I need to be pushing through damage, so I'll play it. Crew the Copter.
All right.
11 to
I will
24.
Go to 11.
Declare tax.
Now I do have Contempt. I want to think if I do want to hit this Smuggler's Copter or just Rankle. I think Rankle is a little bit scarier right now, so we're going to do that.
Okay, so then you go to 13.
Yep.
Attack for 6 and loot.
Yep. Down to 7. All right.
Pass.
Untap. Decent draw. Not the best. Okay, so I think we are going to go with an Urborg and pass to you.
More removal spells.
All the
eh?
removal spells.
Well, I certainly don't want to get my Copter pushed or otherwise killed. So I'm
Okay.
just going to animate Mutavault and go to attacks because this is a lethal attack.
Okay.
That's good.
Yep.
Okay, attack with these and trigger the lookout. 6 to 25.
6. We will Contempt the Scrounger.
So you go to 8 and then take 3. So you're at 5.
Yep. 5 to 25, right?
Yep.
All right.
Pass the turn.
Now we're definitely in trouble. Need a good draw here. It's not bad.
Well, you do have Fable Passage here to make some zombies.
That is true. Now let's see. I suppose we want to go with an Hour Promise.
Well, that's messed up.
And I really want to get... Yeah, okay. We got this. Want to get a Field of the Dead and get our good friend Ormondal here. All right. Get that. Get 4 zombies. And then Fabled Passage to get total of 6 zombies.
Well, I punted this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have pushed this Scrap Heap Scrounger and denied you 2 life.
Oh, yeah, that would have been probably pretty good. I also punted by not getting a land with Rejuvenator. It was just a 3-mana 1/1. I really should have used its other ability. All right, and then I'll pass to you.
So now, even if I am able to kill 4 of these, which there is the potential for me to be able to do, then I guess you would need another land, which is, I know, pretty likely, but it's the best I can do.
Okay, double push.
So yeah, push 2 of them.
Okay. No Rankle.
Rankle or Night Market Lookout is what I need.
Okay.
That one's not great.
Okay, we're alive.
Activate Mutavault.
Yep.
Crew Copter, you go to 4, I go to 26.
Yep.
Attack with these, trigger.
Okay.
It's not quite there.
Okay. We're living on the edge. Living on the edge. Okay.
Let's trade.
So I go to 1.
You go to 1, play another Copter.
Okay.
You can go.
All right. So we're going to untap now. Okay. Now we'll go with a Tireless Tracker.
Yep.
Sacrifice. We'll get a couple of zombies and a clue. A couple of zombies, clue, thank you. And then it's time for a giant creature.
We're sacking these zombies.
Yep. All right, and I mean at this point I cannot let you untap, so I have to
attack.
Yeah.
So 17 to 10.
Okay, and yep, your turn. That's huge. I wonder how many games they won with Ormondal. Because it seems like that's like the main win condition. It's
Yep.
like a horde of zombies or just eventually get Ormondal here. So now I do need a unique land to be able to get more zombies, since Ormondal did transform. 6.
You have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you only have 6.
6 now, yep.
I think I'm going to be a little short.
I can't believe we have a chance of winning this game after bricking on a Rejuvenator. Let's go.
I wasn't really thinking too much about it. I was trying to resolve combat. I should have thought about pushing that Scrounger.
Yeah.
Definitely would have just won the game.
Yep.
So now I can like hope you don't find a unique land, but then you probably find an answer to Rankle. I guess if
You have a Rankle?
no, I don't have Rankle. I was thinking of potentially
Okay.
finding one.
I was going to say, how lucky.
So
I bet Autumn had to just work for all these wins, though. This game does not seem like it, or this deck does not seem like it just, has that draw that just crushes or whatever,
yeah. I think I just have to do this. So let's play a Murderous Rider.
Okay,
Let's
double crew.
both Copters. I go to 18. You go to 9.
Yep, and then I'm going to go to
Attack
3.
root once.
Oh,
Loot
yeah.
again.
Yep. Okay, and I'll go to 3.
You can go.
All right. Untapping with Ormondal. What a time to be alive. Okay, so we're going to start with a Once Upon a Time.
Yep.
3, 4, 5. That's probably pretty good. We'll go with Deadlands. Get a couple of zombies and another clue. All right. this and this. Now, I think we can safely draw a card. And we still have this active if we want. All right, draw. And I think we're pretty safe to just play a tracker here. And then we'll attack for
13.
Yep.
I go to 5, you go to 12.
Yep. And pass to you.
I'm going to be one short, even if I hit. Okay, didn't hit the land.
You're going to be a lot short.
Sure. Makes sense.
All right. All right.
Just I needed to push my scrounger there. I had a kind of a mediocre set of draws in the middle, drawing a lot of. I drew 3 fatal pushes.
Yeah.
And they don't match up very well in
against a
your
horde of
creatures.
zombies, not too well.
Or like your other threats are all cost 3.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to actually push them.
Yeah.
So that ended up being awkward. But still, if I just slow down, that's a game I probably win if I'm sitting like playing online.
Sure.
But yeah, I just need to push that scrounger, essentially turn it into a shock.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't have ended up 1 life.
Yeah, that would have been a lot worse of a game for me.
Yeah.
But hey, it seems like this. I should probably turn this back. Seems like this deck is really sweet, though.
Now the Westvale Abbey is a really good addition.
Yeah.
That should probably just be a one of in every hour field deck.
It really should be.
So
I mean, all you need is 5. 5 zombies is not that hard to get
when you're casting
when
hour.
you're casting hour or just having a fabled passage or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, let's get some questions from our chat here.
As I'm queuing that up, I briefly freaked out for a second when you played Hour Promise, because if you look at the artwork on Land of the Dead, it sort of looks like a desert. It's like, wait a minute. Field of the Dead wasn't randomly made a desert, was it?
Yeah, right?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
It was
God,
like,
that would be
Hour Promise
just
so
broken. What is it, just an extra bonus couple zombies then?
Yeah, it's extra.
If you have 3?
Zombies if you have
You
3.
get 2 zombies if you have 3.
Okay.
And you do
Sweet.
play If Near Deadlands, Hash Up Oasis.
Yeah.
How many do you play? One each of the cycling deserts?
I believe so. For sure one of the green. I don't think, maybe
Yeah,
not
I
the
saw
black one.
Yeah, I saw the green
so
one.
you play
Yeah.
a couple. So occasionally, if you already have the Field of the Dead, you're already drawing a couple deserts. You can probably just find
if you're playing any kind of fair matchup, right? Like if you're playing any matchup where the creatures matter. Hey.
Working out there.
Oh, should we keep it down?
Keep it down a little bit.
Hey, sorry, boss.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have fun in here, man.
You have fun at funny?
Yeah.
We're very quiet, Cedric.
A random Cedric appears.
A good celebrity shot there.
Just his hand and his shoulder.
Yeah.
Shamelessly trying to get on
He's
camera.
like
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Muppet Babies.
Trying to get his camera time in.
Been on camera all weekend. One day
Yeah.
off on Mondays. Got to
Yeah.
get right back on.
Hey, I told him to get in here and come on the Versus Live and try to challenge our marbles. He was scared.
Scared.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Actual question.
He plays it up on the camera, but he's a big scaredy cat.
Yeah.
He's washed. Doesn't want to put any more cards on the table.
There you go.
Knows he can't hang.
Okay. So from King Trey H, is there any deck that you think did worse than expected in Pioneer over the Invitational?
I don't know how well it performed. We didn't really see it at any of the top tables, except early on in the tournament with Martin Mueller. But it was a deck I expected would be more popular, but I didn't think it was that good. And that's the Azureus Flash deck.
Yeah.
I think that deck has some good cards, but its curve, like all the powerful cards are just concentrated in the 3 slot on the curve.
Yeah.
So your curve ends up being really wonky. I did lose to it in the PTQ on Sunday. That was my one loss. My opponent played very well, really utilized their mana very efficiently,
Sure.
Sequenced really well. And I think that's really important with that deck, but it just has some draws where like you just do nothing on turn 2 and you fall so far behind.
Yeah.
So that was a deck that I thought would be popular because people really like that deck back in Standard too. And it does have
And it was so dominant in Standard, right?
Yeah.
Like, so a lot of people thought, well, that transfers over, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't super popular. It's probably the 7th, 8th, 9th most popular deck.
Yeah.
And didn't do particularly well. So wasn't really wasn't unexpected for me to not see it near the top tables, but I thought I would see it more, over the course of the tournament.
Yeah. And to be fair, a story of Martin Mueller, how he got to that deck is said, okay, Brad, what deck aren't you playing? And can I go through your cards to build something? And that's what was available in his collection. So I don't even think that was Martin Mueller's first choice.
No.
But as far as decks for me, is Blue Red Phoenix. I mean, I did not see any of them that did particularly well.
There were 2 in the 7-1 or better lists.
2, but none in the top 8, right?
Sure. But
Yeah.
2 people did really well with the deck. That's actually more than I
Yeah.
expected.
Yeah,
That deck did
that's
better
fair.
than I thought it would be. I
think so.
I have not been impressed with that deck at all.
I haven't
And
been
neither have
either,
you.
and I played it a couple of times in the tournament, and I just think it has a really bad mono green devotion matchup, and you know, I'm sure that showed throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we didn't see a ton of that deck. It was a lot of green decks,
Mm-hmm.
and a good amount of the black deck, and then a lot of different field decks. Actually, I played against Banfield twice at the Invitational.
Did you?
I actually played against Civic Nexus twice over the weekend, which was a little weird.
That is a little weird.
There's one in the top 16. You know, that deck it's around. It's a deck that can win.
And
Victor Time is really
I think
good
it
at
needs to be changed a little bit because it just has some nombos, you know, like even Search for Iscana and Dig Through Time just feels so weird. Like, but obviously if you flip it first and then dig, then that's completely fine. All right, let's get back to the magic here. How's your hand? That good? All right, bring it.
Blood-soaked champion.
Oh, can't beat that.
No one can.
Can't beat that. Quagmire, your turn. Giggity. Come on.
Attack for 2.
Come on, that's good. We haven't had a
understand
hissing
that
Quagmire Family Guy joke in a long time, I can imagine. All right, 18.
You're up.
All right, untap. We'll play this Forest and pass to you.
Thought sees you.
Thought sees me.
We'll get to see if Corey has removal for this copter, whether or not I should crew it.
All right, that resolves.
They literally always have 2. I cannot tell you how often this happens, and it's so frustrating.
Hey, you're the one who very, aggressively thumbs up saying your hand was just broken. I just casually said keep. My hand's very good, though. What you got? What you got?
This is going to put me at 18.
Yep. 18 all.
Um,
And this is interesting. Do you take the card that gives me card advantage eventually, or do you try to break through this endless removal train here? Only one man knows. Stay tuned.
take the
Contempt? Okay.
Attack for 2.
Tagging for 2. Okay, I'll take it.
At 16.
Yep.
Play another copter.
All right, we'll kill one of them.
You're up.
All right, we will play Field of the Dead and pass to you.
Declare attacks.
Declare away.
Attack for 2.
14.
Pass the turn.
I will Abrupt Decay. Untap. We're going to go with a Tireless Tracker.
Yep.
Get a clue.
Yep.
Oh, I have them over
Move
here. And then we'll Thoughtseize you.
Okay. I'll swift end the tracker in response.
Okay.
So I lose 2. I go to
16.
You're going to end up at 12.
Yep.
You're going to take this rankle out of my hand and leave me with this poopy fatal push.
That I will. And then I will pass to you.
You have 2 in hand.
2 in hand. You know a castle.
Yeah, I know there's a land there. Attack for 2.
Okay, that's not great. You got to play. Oh, I guess you
I
have the
Murderous Order,
murderous.
yeah.
So I'm at 10. You're at 16.
Yep.
That's
can
a pretty
go.
good draw on your run. Not bad, at least.
You have the late game inevitabilities, so
Yeah.
castle's not great here. And I have Mutavault that I want to sink mana
I
into.
think I really have to prioritize trying to find something here. I could like block with a Hissing Quagmire, but then you could just
Fatal push it.
fatal push it. That seems quite bad. So I think we're just going to start by sacrificing this clue.
Yep.
Drawing a card. I think we will also we'll play this and cycle this and pass to you. Not a great set of draws on our end.
Thoughtseize you.
Got him. Got him. It was a perfect set of draws.
Deck.
All right, so you're at 14, and I'm going to 4.
Basically anything but Hour of Promise. And I think
Hour
we're good
of
here.
Promise, please. Elvis Rejuvenator would be okay, but all right. Oh, yeah. That's
So
a
you're
good
dead.
one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Thoughtseize you.
So the game is over.
That's true. It was right there, though.
Okay.
Not quite good enough.
Well, you had a good
All right.
hand, and then you didn't draw any spells.
Yep. No, my hand was a pretty good start, but yeah, you're right. I just drew absolutely no spells there.
So that means I will. That means we're going to game 3.
We're going to game 3.
We need to do some sideboarding.
We better do some sideboarding.
Means we're going to take a break, but we'll be back very quickly. So don't go anywhere.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to sideboarding here at Versus Live. All right, so I'm going to be on the play. I don't really want to be taking apart your hand on the play. I just really want to be proactive, and anything I do to be reactive at all, I want it to be killing something on your side of the board. So we're going to take these out. If I was on the draw, I would probably keep in some number of them to try to maybe break serve a little bit and strip a Copter or a Rankle at a key time. But on the play, we're going to take these out, as well as Contempt. I think it's a little slow. Unravel is a card I was really thinking a lot about because Smuggler's Copter is one of the scariest cards. But we're bringing in a couple Fatal Pushes, which is good enough.
Also cleanly answers Scrap Heap.
That is true. That is true. Maybe I should leave in one, but I think it's fine here. Kalitas is another way to deal with that. And then we're bringing Liliana the Last Hope. You have enough X1s where even if you can kill one, slow you down a little bit. The card is great. A couple more Fatal Pushes, deals with basically everything. I have to work to kill Rankle. And then Legion's End, if I ever get a 2-for-1 off you, it's just going to be insane.
Okay.
All right.
On my side, definitely want to get these Fatal Pushes out of the deck. We saw how weak they were in the
Not great.
pre-board games. I had some discussion about just how many discard spells I wanted in my deck. Against the Bantfield decks that are playing, Supreme Verdict and have very few creatures. They have Arboreal Grazer and Rejuvenator.
Yeah,
maybe
gotta kill those Grazers, though.
You want all your dresses, and you want your Stay in the Mind because you can hit their sweepers in addition to Hour of Promise.
Yep.
In this matchup where you're a little bit more proactive and you're committing Tireless Trackers and Coursers to the battlefield, I need to have a little bit more removal in my deck, and that means there's less room for discard. So I've got all my Noxious Grasps in because they cleanly answer your important creatures. I'm trimming a Murderous Rider because it's not that efficient, and you don't really have a lot of Planeswalkers I want to kill. Just these Lilianas out of the sideboard.
Yep.
But we ended up landing on me bringing in 2 Duresses. This puts me down 2 creatures, but one of them is not really a creature.
Yep.
And then I want to trim one of my 1-drops, and normally it would be Gnarled Scarhide, but in this case, I need to be ending the game with the Flyers, and this card just gets trumped on the ground by your horde of zombies.
Sure.
You can trade it with a zombie every single turn, basically. So it coming back, even in the face of all your removal, isn't super relevant because you're going to own the late game anyway. And Gnarled Scarhide can sometimes just bestow onto a flyer, and that might deal the remaining points. So I'm actually going to trim a Bloodsoaked Champion here. That's pretty common. Even if your opponent is removal heavy, if you know they have the late game advantage, then you don't need to have all of your late game grindy cards in because you're not going to win the late game anyway.
Mm-hmm. That's why I would kind of think that you would want to keep that in and try to be as fast as possible. But on the draw, I think it is significantly worse.
I need to trim a creature, so maybe I should be trimming a Scrap Heap Scrounger because it's for a similar issue and to keep my curve low.
Yeah.
But you have Liliana the Last Hope, and Scrap Heap's obviously better against that than the champion. So
I like it. All right, so I'm going to be on the play for the third and final game. But we got any questions, Dan, while we get shuffled up?
Yeah, we have a few.
All right.
So, first I'm going to highlight a thing that Sisk 556 brought up in regards to fighting Mono Green Devotion. There is a card that you can sideboard in that can actually help, and that is Lavinia Azureus Renegade. If you do not remember what this does, I don't blame you. But it was from Ravnica Allegiance. 2/2 for white and a blue. Each opponent can't cast non-creature spells with converted mana cost greater than the number of lands that player controls.
So just can't play giant hydras?
No, it's non-creature.
Or non-creature?
Oh, wait.
Stops them from playing their planeswalkers.
Yes.
Sometimes
Sometimes with Lana Werolf. Yeah. Probably not good enough, but that is definitely interesting.
There's also the second part. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. So
Once upon a time, no.
so it's
Probably be tough to get that one
time
countered.
turn 0 or nothing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a good thought at least. Let's see. Howl126 writes, so Ross, you advocated so highly for Izzet and Soul. Why did you choose to play Mono-Blackk for the Envy instead?
I thought the metagame had turned a little bit against the Ensoul deck. People were a little bit more prepared with disenchant effects. You saw, there's a main deck Unravel the Ether in Autumn's list. And that deck is really dependent on connecting with its Ensoul effects. You only need to connect once usually.
Yeah.
But you do need to connect once. If you connect 0 times, it's,
Impossible to win.
Yeah.
Your Shrapnel Blast looks so bad.
yes.
Yeah.
So that was an issue. I thought with the banning of Veil of Summer that the black removal just got, just a little bit better. Thoughtseize just a little bit better. And, this deck just does a lot of great things. I do have an article today about it on StarCityGames.com, so you can read more detailed thoughts about this deck in particular there, as well as get a sideboard guide. But the combination...
Did you say sideboard guide?
Yes,
All right,
the
I'm
combination
in.
of, a low curve and a ton of things to do with your mana late is so great, and it just increases your consistency.
Yeah.
And this was the only deck that I found that could compete on that consistency axis with the green decks that are just playing 8 land wells for once upon a time. They just do the same thing on turns 1 and 2 every game. This deck does the same thing every game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's by virtue of the redundancy of the good 1-mana creatures, the power of Smuggler's Copter looting through your deck, the card advantage it can generate, and then the fact that you have so much to do with your mana that you get to play 24 lands in your 13 Wonder-Up aggro deck.
Yes.
So you rarely stumble, but you also never flood. So just all of those factors.
Yeah, Castle and Mutavault in that deck are just so unbelievably good.
Yeah.
Mutavault is
Yeah.
a messed up Magic card.
Mutavault is messed up. No, I wish I would have played that. I did pretty well. I went 6-2 with Green Devotion, but the games where I couldn't really win, there were a lot of them, like just when I'm on the draw against like the Scales deck, which I played against 3 or 4 times, it's just like I could not win.
Or like Scale, okay, next turn Ballista, shoot your elf.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this is over.
Next turn Nissa, okay,
Yeah.
the game's dead.
But there's a lot of play when you have Thoughtseize and you have Fatal Push. You can do a lot of different stuff, even from the draw. So, no, I think that deck was a really good choice, especially with Veil being banned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely see some hate towards it in the coming weeks. We'll see a lot more. I mentioned Cry the Canarium. There's Anger of the Gods. Those kind of sweepers are good. We're going to see people make sure they have answers to Smuggler's Copter. We'll see some more Braids, maybe. Things like that. So, we'll see how it reacts to that. But right now, the deck is sweet.
It is pretty awesome. I have to agree with you. This hand is not insanely great, but we're going to keep.
I do not keep many 5-landers on 7.
Yikes.
I keep a lot of 5-landers.
Sometimes on 5.
Yeah, my deck is full of lands. All right, let's take one more question. Well, Ross mulligans to
Of
5.
course.
I mean, mulligans.
Mulligans. So, from Perfect Steak, is Ross still high on Boros Feather / Heroic decks, or has his opinion on them changed?
I do still think they're pretty solid. I haven't tested them against, the decks we're seeing doing well, but that's definitely a deck I'm going to try out now that we have, a metagame to target.
Sure.
I do think that deck is good. I worry about consistency issues with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have any way to fix its draws.
Feather's always struggled with that.
Yeah.
When Feather looks really good, the deck looks unbeatable. But, the games where you don't draw a creature on curve, it just looks really clunky. They kill your first creature, they kill your Feather. Looks pretty bad, but...
So I'll be looking out for those issues, but that is definitely a deck I will try in the coming weeks.
That's fair. All right, let's see if your 6 is better.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This hand is really good if I hit, so I think I have to keep.
All right. All right, let's honk it up. Your turn. We switched our diet here. Did you see that? We were eating a lot of pastries. Now we're just eating skulls and apples.
We had a nutritionist come in and say we weren't really eating a balanced diet here on Versus Live. They were concerned about our health. So they brought somebody in, and now we are on a strict regimen of apples and skulls.
Yeah. We're eating only apples until that's how skinny we are.
Okay.
Bring back the page trees.
I will. Thoughtseize you.
All right. We got Kalitas in a couple hours.
I will take the Kalitas.
Yeah, Kalitas seems pretty good against you.
It is. I'm at 18.
Kalitas is just an insane magic card. All right. Well, yeah, I think we will just play that. We'll sacrifice this and do some rejuvenating.
It's pretty good.
Can we hit? If we miss this time, this is quite terrible. All right, we hit. Now the question is castle or overgrown tomb. I think we might as well get a castle. We have enough. Oh, wait, no, actually, I want this castle untapped. And we're very unlikely to actually activate the other castle with this in hand. We can just go get it. Your turn. Oh, you need a land? You need a land? Squeak it out.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, that's that pain look. Ain't not bad.
This hand was so good if I just hit a land.
All right.
On the draw, you had to keep.
A clue. And your turn. You hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Well, one turn behind. I do have a smuggler's copter.
Okay, that's pretty good.
You can go.
Now we would like one more land, please. Our draws have been very fortunate to us so far. We'll just... dang it.
It's just an abrupt decay for my copter. I know what it is.
No. It is a land. Well, it's not a great one. All right, we're going to start by sacking a clue. See what we can get. Draw a card. We're going to get a clue. And I guess we can attack. We're not afraid.
14.
You know what? We're getting in there with both.
So you have a removal spell for my copter.
Maybe.
And if it's Fatal Push, I mean...
It responds.
Yeah, it's just decay. So
Yeah.
I thought it was a good... Like, I told you, I knew he drew a decay.
You did. Okay, so,
so
you're
I'm
up
gonna
to
still end
21.
up. I'm still gonna end up at 14. I lost 2 life from thought.
Okay, so you were at 19, and then you're gonna take 5, go to 14, and I'm at 19.
But I gained 1. Yeah, I was at 19, and then you're at 19.
Yep.
Yeah, 19, 14.
19, 14. Okay, pass to you. Pretty, honestly, I think if I could have stacked my deck, I drew exactly like the 4 cards I wanted there. That was pretty fortunate.
Yep. And I bricked on land for a turn. So this game is not going to be close. It's attack and trigger.
Block.
And you're at 18. I'm at 15.
Yep. Three.
Let's do what we can.
Okay.
You're up.
All right. We'll untap. And that cannot block, right?
That
So we
is
do
true.
have a free attack here. I think I do want to leave this back to block, even though we are going to get zombies, so maybe I just don't care. Yeah, let's just work on... No, we're going to leave this back just in case the Legion's in. So we'll attack.
I will take 4, go to 11.
11, and then we'll hour.
Yep.
We're going to get 2 clues. So we're going to be up to 3 clues, and we're going to trigger 2 zombies. We're going to go with... let's get this, and... Let's go with 1 desert here, because then our next hour can go get 2 more deserts if we want. I highly doubt it, but... All right,
Yeah.
and then we'll get 2 zombies and pass it to you. Now we got the option to Ormondal next turn.
Don't think that makes sense. I'll duress you.
Okay.
Take hour. Play a Scarhide.
Pretty
pass the
good.
turn.
Okay. We'd be kind of out of gas here if we didn't have a bunch of clues. Or...
And a Field of the Dead.
And an hour, I promise.
Jesus.
Is that a good draw? All right, we'll just get 2 fields.
I think the life simulation is bugged.
yeah. All right, we'll get 6 zombies. All right. Okay. And we'll sack a clue. God, you're so helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we'll start getting in there. We're not afraid. We'll attack with these.
Take 9. I'm at 2.
All right, your turn. Anyone's game. Anyone's game here.
Nazis.
Yeah.
I did have the Legion's End.
Okay. Our zombies are dead.
Let me see your hand. No more zombies. That's unlucky.
Oh, we
and,
got
and you have the fatal push.
We got zombies.
Yeah, I'm very dead.
Yeah, we could have just rejuvenated and 9-7'd you.
That would have been a tough game even if I did hit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you mulliganed. You had to keep that kind of hand.
Oh, I mean,
just
it
didn't
was
get there.
it was
Yeah.
1 land, Copter, Thoughtseize, Legion's End, 2 1-mana creatures.
Yeah.
Snap keep.
Exactly. And I mean, I just had a really good hand on the play where Gilded Goose is actually much better post-port against you because Fatal Push is really bad. But if I get a Goose unchecked, even going Gilded Goose turn 1, turn 2, make a food, which was going to be my plan, and then just always being 1 turn ahead, even Kalitas on turn 3 or Hour on turn 4, it was going to be a recipe for success.
Or you can play your 3 drops on turn 2 like you did. Rejuvenator, Tracker, Courser.
Yeah.
So it looks like a weird card in the deck. Kind of feel like I still wonder, like, is it better than Arboreal Grazer, right? Like, I'm not sure. But it definitely, it'll put in some work, and it's a nice little mana sink against aggressive decks. You can gain some life with it later in the game. You don't really have other uses for food. Maybe you could, like, sideboard Wicked Wolf.
You could, but I think if you play Gilded Goose, you aren't, like, 100% priced in to just playing, 30 lands,
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly how many lands Autumn decided to play, but I don't think it was, like, just the I'm playing 30,
Yeah.
Quite a few.
Yeah. No, but this deck looked pretty impressive.
Yeah, we saw a very close game 1 there. A slight misplay on my end, threw it over, and then game 2, I just sort of got ahead and like you flooded a bit. You just drew a few too many lands.
Yep.
And I closed out the game, but really before Field of the Dead got online because you didn't really ramp at all. And in that game 3, you had a really strong curve. And even if I'd hit land and had a good draw of mine, you know, 1 drop into Copter, into more gas plus a Legion's End, that's a draw that I expect to beat field decks. Very often.
Yeah.
And in that game, I don't think it would have beaten that draw.
Yeah.
So that's a really strong endorsement for the deck. I think the Golgari removal is really nice, having Abrupt Decay to deal with Copter.
And we recognize that early on. I think Golgari just has the best removal of the format right now.
The only way the Bant deck had to take my Copters, put them in the graveyard, they can bounce them with the Fairy.
Yeah.
But the Bant list was like they were boarding in Disenchants to try to deal with them, which is pretty
Feels
bad.
pretty bad, yeah.
And then some of the lists have Hour Revelation.
Yeah, and you even saw me taking out like Disenchant because my removal is so good that I really just want to have stuff that says kill that or that or that or that. Not just I need to deal with Smuggler's Copter, so I bring in 1 card. But like you said, Bant's just priced into having to play these very narrow cards.
Yeah. And the other nice thing is, your deck is cohesive. Like everything contributes to the same plan, but it's cohesive in a way that is difficult to react to.
Yeah.
These cards you do not react to in the same way.
Yeah.
Against the Bant versions, like I said during sideboarding, I'm all in on discard spells. I just take their verdicts. Sometimes I can grind through them. I take their hours, and they have to sort of just naturally make it to get their fields online. Sometimes they rejuvenate into them or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you go Tracker into Hour, well, now I've got to keep in removal and discard. Maybe I'm a little bit lower on creatures to do that. And if I don't have the discard on time, the Tracker gets its value. If I don't have the removal on time, if I don't have the discard on time, Hour gets its value immediately.
Yep.
So you force me to have a wider spread of countermeasures to what you're doing, and that's going to make introduce inconsistency in my draws where I just don't have the right answers at the right time.
Yeah, like Legion's End, like you have to kind of have it for the zombies so you can push through at certain times, but doesn't do very good work against Tireless Tracker.
Exactly, or Courser Fix. So a really, really well built deck here.
I agree.
Another deck I expect to see a lot of in the next week or two.
They should probably be in the MPL. They're that good. All right, well, that's going to be it for the first round. Now, the second round is going to be featured by, I'm going to be playing what I think is arguably the deck of the tournament. Lotus Box, doing it again, kind of breaking it wide open, kind of combining the best of Green Devotion and the best of the Hardened Scales deck. Realizing that some of the Hardened Scale draws with like Pelt Collector, Experimental One, kind of the one that won the Nerd Rage Gaming tournament. Yeah. That it was a little weak to just, okay, Fatal Push, your 1 and 2 drop, then the deck looks pretty bad. But now we're getting the very powerful top end of Green Devotion, as well as the explosivity of Hardened Scales. And I think the deck is awesome. I played against it quite a lot. I'm sure you did as well at the tournament. And what are you going to be playing against me?
I'm going to be playing Lucas Cruz's Is It Phoenix deck. Went 7-1 or better in the modern portion. A couple interesting choices in his list, so I wanted to try it out. And we're going to be trying it out against a major test. I do think the Scales deck is quite good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't exactly call it the deck of the tournament. I think Mono-Blackk was the deck of the tournament.
Probably. But maybe the more innovative deck is probably what I really should have said. Yeah.
One of the more innovative decks, along with the Golgari Field. I think these two decks, Green Devotion and Scales, are probably the 4 best decks in the format, I would say. After this weekend, so definitely a tier 1 strategy should stay around. I think it's now the default build of Hardened Scales.
Yeah, but nothing's safe. R&D goes to Applebee's every Monday, and just anything could go at any time.
You never know if those the margaritas are bad one day.
Oh yeah,
suddenly we just don't have our promise anymore.
Yeah, you get your cheese sticks with marinara instead of ranch, and boom, bad day. Deck's gone.
We're banning everything now.
All right, everybody, we're going to take a short, we got 5 minutes, Dan. We're going to take a 5-minute break, and we'll be right back with our round 2 of Hardened Scales versus Is It Phoenix. See you there.